What's up, everybody? Here I am to answer your questions. The other day on Instagram, I said, ask me a question, and I'd answer it. I got some good ones. I got some juicy ones, and I got some questions that'll probably blow your mind. Just kidding. They're pretty good questions, though, but I think what you'll learn about this video is you're going to learn about me, you're going to learn about some of the techniques I concentrate on, and you're going to learn about some of my aspirations in my fishing career. Y'all want to get deep? Let's get deep. Alright, so like I said, I'm here to answer your questions tonight. Let's get started. Break out the trusty phone. Alright, so first question comes from my buddy Austin down in Texas, who is an absolute jaint slayer. So definitely go check him out. His Instagram is going to be right here. Bing! Go check him out. Give him a follow because he catches some Texas giants. So yeah, definitely check him out. Not only does he catch giants, his GoPro edits are the bee's knees. Like, honestly, they're sick. Duck hunting, bass fishing. Go check him out. His question is, first cast of the day, what you doing? The answer is bird's nest. 100% I'm gonna get a bird's nest. No, I'm kidding. I mean, most of the time that does happen. Regardless, first cast of the day, what am I doing? It depends on where I'm at. If I'm up here in the Northeast and I'm on Lake Erie, first cast, I'm launching that drop shot as far as I humanly possibly can. And trying not to catch a fish, because you don't want to catch a fish on your first cast, which leads me into my next question. Question 2 comes from Cody J. Morgan. I'm pretty sure he's a West Coast guy, lives all the way out there in California, just bought a Flint. Good choice, my man. His question is, do you have any superstitions while fishing? Yeah, that would be one. Don't catch a fish on your first cast, because if you catch a fish on your first cast, you don't catch anything the rest of the day. I don't know what it is, but that's like one of my superstitions. The other thing is, I need to have a certain object with me at all times. It's kind of sentimental, kind of a sob story, but it's something of my grandfather's. My grandfather was my inspiration for fishing. I always think about him when I'm on the water. I'm always saying, yo, what up, G-Pop? And I always feel like he's right there watching me. And one of those things is, he commuted from a town called Yardley in Pennsylvania across the bridge to another town in New Jersey for work. And you would have to pay a toll. Back in the day, it was with these little coins. I keep a little bridge toll coin in my PFD everywhere I go. Now, I didn't mention it in my PFD video because that's for me. It's a private thing. I don't really reveal that, but I just did. But yeah, it's in there. It's in one of the front pockets, and it doesn't come out ever. So yeah, that's one of my other superstitions, is having that coin. If I don't have that coin, then I feel like nothing's gonna go my way on the water. All right, question number 3. Been a while since I've used an open face. I don't know why people call them open face. I still don't understand that. What's a badass baitcaster on the market now? I mean, there's a ton out there. Personally, I use Daiwa Tatulas, and the Tatulas are heavy duty. They're lightweight, but they can handle a ton of abuse. They cast a country mile. There's so many different models to choose from that you can have a single Tatula for every technique. You know, I have one for flipping and pitching. I have one for topwater, one for cranking. I think the Daiwa Tatulas are, you know, kind of this new wave of, you know, new reels out there. I will say that the Shimano Curados, whether it be the K or the DC, are also very solid. I also think the 13 Fishing Concept Z and that new one that just came out, that lime green one, which I'm interested in purely because of the color, I think those are pretty baller as well. They can cast a country mile, and they're pretty smooth from, you know, just messing around with them right out of the box. But like I said, Daiwa Tatula, if you can get the SV spool, then they're butter. If not, any of them honestly will do. My personal favorite is the CT Type R in the 8:1 gear ratio. I think that is my favorite Tatula. I have 2 of those. Oops. Next question comes from my buddy, my now south of the Mason-Dixon line buddy, Garrett Ginsley. Here's his Instagram right here. Keep an eye on him. He's gonna do big things down there. He was an absolute stud up here in Pennsylvania. Now that he moved where 10-pounders live, I would not expect anything less than for him to get a 9 to 10-pounder in the next 2 months, because he's that good of a stick. Here's his Instagram. Check him out. Ready? Yeah, go give him a follow. He'll appreciate it. He asks, how many different ways can you rig and fish the Z ribtail worm? And what's your favorite? So you can literally rig the Z-bait ribtail worm in every single way that you can rig any other worm. It's super versatile. It is, you know, a bit of a longer worm than most people like to admit. It's 7.4 inches. I'm fine with the length. A lot of people like to cut it down. I say, phooey. Don't cut it down, use the whole thing. I catch 6-inch bass on a 7-inch worm. Yes, I admit it, I catch flare fish. What are you gonna do? Now as far as rigging goes, my favorite ways to rig it, there's a couple. You can put it on a shaky head, you can Texas rig it, you can Nico rig it, you can wacky rig it. Any way that you could rig a worm, you can do this. Speed worm, you name it, it can be done with this. I have 3 favorite ways that I fish this worm. The first would be on a shaky head, the most obvious. You put it on a spot remover or one of the Z-bait shaky heads that are absolutely fantastic. Another plug for Z-bait. But yeah, I love those shaky heads and I love the spot removers. So both of those are my go-to shaky heads. But yeah, put this on a shaky head. Screw lock, screw it in, you know, make it weedless, whatever you want. But this thing, it literally, once it's on the shaky head, will stand up. These little, the ribs in the tail will actually catch air bubbles and it will stand up and flutter in the water, which is why this is, to me, the perfect shaky head worm. The next way I like to rig it is a Nico rig. Well, I mean, this thing floating through the water slowly with like a 1/16 or 1/32 nail weight right in the end of that is going to have that same kind of action that it would with the shaky head, just a lot slower. It's more finesse than the shaky head. You know, you're putting an O-ring on it, putting the hook through it, nail weight down here, it's fluttering down like this. It's twirling, and these are still catching air bubbles, so it's gonna flutter as it goes down. The next way I like to rig this is a drop shot. Now this is after a day of Nico rigging, and after a day of putting it on a shaky head, it's a little torn up. So what I do, when it's all torn up, I bite that part off. I know I said I didn't like to bite it off, but that's the only time I'll shorten it, is when it's all wrecked from using it in another technique. I will save these if I still have, you know, most of the worm. So I will bite that down, and I will hook, you know, usually about here will get bitten down, and then I will hook the rest of this on a drop shot hook. Now, yes, everyone's saying, yes, that's a big bait for a drop shot, but it catches fish. I don't care what you say. If you rig this thing the right way on a drop shot, you will catch fish on it. You can use a little bit bigger of a hook. I use a 1/0 or you know, even up to a 2/0 to rig this on a drop shot. Those are my 3 favorite ways to rig a ribtail worm. I think, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make a video next week of all the ways you can rig a ribtail and a bamboo bomber, because those are my 2 favorite Z-bait baits, and probably the 2 most versatile baits ever created. So yeah, you'll see that soon. The next question comes from Labar901. What is your go-to bait when the bite is tough? That's easy. It's a Ned rig. Now I know a lot of people are like, you got a Ned rig. Listen, if it's tournament day and I need fish on the board, I need fish in the boat, yeah, I'm gonna throw a Ned rig. I'm not ashamed. It catches fish. This next question is a deep one. We're about to get deep. Sit down, hold on a minute, take a seat. It's from one of my best friends of all time, Preston. You're the man. Here's his Instagram right here, MoYakBass91. I know we're 700 miles apart, but you're the man. This is an important question. Do you have an end goal to your fishing journey? If so, what? No, I don't have an end goal to my fishing journey, because my fishing journey will never end. I want it to constantly progress. I want it to constantly evolve, whether it be in the tournament realm, whether it be in the content realm, whether it be just personal growth. This journey to me won't end. And I think that's the difference between me and a few other content creators out there, is that eventually for them, it will end. Whether, you know, eventually for them, the fishing will stop. It doesn't seem like that this is their heart, this is their passion. I think that's the biggest difference between me and some of the people that are, you know, at the top of this, whether it be on Instagram or YouTube or in the tournament world. I see this being a lifelong journey, which is why I say it won't ever end. I see me progressing and growing and learning the sport every single day for the rest of my life. And I find so much joy and enjoyment in that it makes it so much easy. It makes it so easy to say that answer. It makes it so easy to say that the journey will never end. And I hope that, Preston, I know you're in the same boat because of how much we love, you know, fishing, how much we love setting the hook, how much we love getting up at 6 a.m., watching the sun come up in awe, and then making that first cast and watching the mist fly off of that spool. There's something about those moments that I will never, ever, 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 ever give up. Great question, Preston. Thanks. A funny question from John Murray 23, who is a native of Chicago. He asks, what is better, a Philadelphia cheesesteak or a Chicago hot dog? Alright, so I like to think of myself as a cheesesteak connoisseur. Here in Philadelphia, first off, we don't call them Philadelphia cheesesteaks. They're just cheesesteaks because we're here in Philadelphia. So if you come to Philadelphia and you order a Philly cheesesteak, I will laugh at you. Fair? Fair. So in short, the Philly cheesesteak, which is not what you're thinking of, so in short, the cheesesteak is by worlds and universes so much better than anything else on the face of the planet when it comes to a city's native food. I think Philadelphia has the best native to this city foods on the planet. Cheesesteaks, tomato pie, you name it, one of the Philadelphia native foods, soft pretzels, tasty cakes, all fantastic. We have the best. So your Chicago hot dogs that I'm not allowed to have ketchup on, dumb, don't even hold an ounce of anything to a D'Alessandro's cheesesteak. Heard it here first. D'Alessandro's, best in the city. Whoop! Well, anyways, this was a short video. There's more questions in there that I'm going to save for another video. And I'll do this again. You know, I'm going to do this from time to time because I like interacting with the people that actually watch my videos. And I like knowing that there's people out there that are curious as to who I am and what my brain thinks and how I go about this or this or this. So I think, you know, this is important feedback, not just for me, but for you as well. So yeah, thanks for asking the questions. Keep it up. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like thingamajig, the one that looks like this or whatever. And come back for the next video. Yeah, thank you. Anyways, keep an eye out. It'll be soon. So I'll see ya.